Hello everybody, it's Monday morning. Happy Monday. You know what it means on Monday. We get in here, we talk. I show you what I've been working on, what I've been making. I am pre-recording this, however, so the videos are about a week behind still. I'm hoping that once everybody's back in school that I will be up to date. I am recording this during a blizzard, so if lights flicker on and off, or I all of a sudden go dark like this, we will know that the power has gone out during this blizzard. However, I'm going to keep trudging forward, and yeah, hopefully everything is fine. As of right now, the blizzard is still going very strong. It is. The snow is blowing kind of sideways, and it's a really heavy, dense, wet snow. I have a rhododendron bush that is out front that is usually about 12 feet high, and it is about 7 feet high right now because there's so much snow that it has like collapsed the bush outward. And I think the only thing that is stopping the bush from laying on the ground is the fact that it is wrapped in really heavy duty Christmas lights right now. So if my Christmas lights get snapped, I will know why, because they are not meant to hold a bush up. So far we have lost 5 huge massive branches off of our giant evergreen, which is just on the side of this wall. So yeah, hopefully that tree stays up and we don't lose any more branches. I am out of bird feed. My bird seed is all used up. I'm like my mother, okay, and I realized this. I'm like, you know what, I think the birds are hungry. I'm gonna go outside in a blizzard and fill up the bird feeder just in case the birds are hungry. And as I was doing this, I was like, yeah, I'm turning into my mother, because my mother would do weird, stupid stuff. And I know why I did it. I did it because I'm nervous. My anxiety is like, that's why I'm recording videos today, is because I'm nervous. I'm very anxious. I'm scared that tree's going to fall. I already know that it damaged my fence. We lost a really giant branch and it fell on the fence, and the fence is like bowed out, and the fence is already old. And I just replaced the whole back section of the fence, and I cannot imagine having to pay for that again, because it was not cheap. Our gazebo, the tent style gazebo in our backyard has collapsed. We took the fabric off of it, and it still collapsed. So yeah, and because of all this is making me anxious, I decided I was going to go out in the blizzard in my slippers and my pajamas and go feed the birds. And I just could see my mother doing it. And I know that, like, if she would have done it, I would have been telling her she was stupid for going out. And I was like, I already pre-warned the family. I was like, yes, I realize I'm stupid. I realize I'm going out in a blizzard to feed birds. I get it. I'm dumb, okay? Nobody has to tell me. Like... The bird feeders and the bird seed is on my front porch, so it's not like I went far. But it was cold. It was wet. It was stupid. But I still did it. The birds are fed. The bird feeder is full. I filled up my little suet cake holder, and now I'm completely out of bird food. I have no seed and I have no suet cakes. So maybe after the blizzard is done, I'll have to go buy some more. Yeah. So I'm just sitting here watching the snow blow, watching the trees trying not to collapse. We have a neighbor across the street, and they have these beautiful pine trees, and they're like, and it looks like in the pictures of like winter in calendars, where they're normally just regular shaped evergreen trees, but because the snow is so heavy, like there's a really heavy point on them, and now they're like almost sharp, like in a painting. And I was watching them, and there was 5 standing, and then all of a sudden there was 4 standing, and the one, I heard a loud pop, and like it is now facing this way. And then I looked out again, and now instead of it being this way, it's like this way. So I have no I have no doubt that that tree is no longer, yeah, it's down. You gotta laugh through it. You gotta laugh through it, because it's either you laugh or you cry. And I'm trying to, little man does not deal well with stress, like he freaks out. So I'm trying to just like make the best of it and let him play his video games, and hopefully the power doesn't go out, because he cannot stand when the power goes out. He freaks out. But yeah, it's a hot mess out there. So what have I been working on? I made the week between Christmas and New Year's, because that's what I'm showing you, is the stuff between Christmas and New Year's. I already showed you, I think I already showed you these hats over here. Hang on. Oh, I'm positive I showed you these. Yeah. So I made these. I made the other brownish colored hat that looked like it had poop on it. And then that was a couple days, actually I think that was the day after Christmas. And then I made all of this in a week. So let's just get started. I'll show you what I made. And I'm probably gonna have to try these all on because I like them. I did a good job. This yarn, what I did was, hang on. See, it would be better if I was more prepared, but I'm clearly not. And the lights are flickering. Alright, so I had in my I have a stash bucket down, not a stash bucket. Can you guys see the lights flickering? They're flickering. Alright, yeah. I have scrap bins down there where I keep scrap balls of yarn, leftover balls of yarn from other projects. And I had in there these. These are Hobby Lobby yarns that I got some time ago from the thrift store. And the reason I know that they're Hobby Lobby yarns is because they still had the labels with some of them. This one does not. This is, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. And some of them were stripes. Some of them were just print. So I love this yarn print. I love this yarn stripes. And because they were caked up and the labels on the inside, I didn't know which was which. So I showed you guys last week. See, this is clearly a striping yarn. I don't know if you guys can see. The lights are flickering. I wasn't sure what this one was, but I had two of these big cakes of this colorway. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm going to use it up. So I crocheted a hat first, and I made an extra long brim so that this could be a slouchy hat if you wanted it to be, or a mushroom. It could be a chef hat. Ho ho ho, wee wee. So anyway, there's a slouch hat if you want it to be. I myself don't like slouch hats. I think they look stupid. So I don't wear them. However, I also like that you fold up the brim. Fold up the brim to win. That's a Tim Hortons reference, in case you didn't know. And then you have the double thick on your ears, like if you have like extra cold winters that we're currently experiencing right now. So it's double thick here because you got that folded up brim, which I really like. This brim, I think, is like 4 inches. So I just did, because I do brim up. So what I do is I do back loop only. And I think I chained. I'm going to be mush mouth for a minute, okay? So I chained 20. And then I went back and forth in the back loop only, single crochet, to get the ribbing effect. And then when it was long enough to stretch and fit around my head, I did I sewed it closed. And then I started doing, I think this is half double crochets in the round. I don't chain to connect and then go up, chain up and go to the next row. I do it in the round. So when you get to that last stitch, instead of slip stitching to join and then chaining up, what I do is I put a stitch on the side of it and then another stitch on the top and then just keep going in the round. And every time it eventually works out to where you don't have a seam. So this is my crochet version. And I was like, okay, well, I had some of the first cake left over because like I said, I had 2 of these cakes. So I'm like, I bet I could get a knit hat out of what was left over. And I couldn't all the way make the knit hat. I got almost to about here, and then I had to add some from this cake. Luckily, I had some. So this is the same yarn, and this is crochet, and this is knit. Isn't that cool? Here, okay, I'll get close so you can see. Isn't that cool? I like how different they look. Even though it's the same yarn. Thread. It's thread. Even though it's the same yarn. Look at the difference in that. And then I was like, okay, like there is a huge difference between knit and crochet. Obviously, this is not an accurate representation of how much a crochet hat weighs because I did the extra big brim. I have my scale. I'm gonna give you an exact idea. So this crochet hat, this is how much difference, because this one, yeah, I get a lot of questions like, does crochet really use that much more yarn? Yes, it does. And I'll tell you why. All right, tear, tear. I'm gonna weigh this. That is 3.6 ounces. I think, if I did that right. And the knit hat is 1.9. 1.9 ounce, 3.6 ounces. This is like over a 3.5 ounce ball. So when you get those little balls that are like 3.5 ounces, this is more than that. Although you could make a crochet hat out of one of those. You just wouldn't make as long of a brim. That is a big difference. 3.6, 1.9. So that tells you how much more yarn crochet takes. And also something Mr. Cinnamon just now realized, because I was showing him the hats, you know. And I was like, something else about crochet versus knit that people don't realize. And this is not me saying knit is better, but for my family with our big heads, I prefer knit hats. And this is why, okay? If you take your crochet hat and you stretch it as far as you go, okay? That is as far as it goes. That is as much stretch as you will get from a crocheted hat. You get a knit hat, okay? It just stretches to infinity, you know? It just keeps on. And for us big-headed people, it will pull itself back so that it fits snug on you. But also, like, if you have different size heads, if you have someone in your family that has, like, a really big head like we do, we are all above 22-inch heads, even little man. I think little man is, like, 22. Me, I'm like 23. Juju is 24. And Mr. Cinnamon, I don't know. I think he's like 26 inches. Like, we all have big heads. Big heads, big brains. Me and Juju also have a lot of hair. So that contributes to us needing a bigger or stretchier hat. So my hats are all made for big people, big-headed people. But that's why I like the knit hats, because they stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch. And Mr. Cinnamon was actually looking at me. He's all, God, there is a huge difference in the stretch with knit hats. And I was like, babe, that's why all of my hats for us have been knit. Because I don't have to worry it's not going to fit us. So that's why you see mostly knit hats on this channel, because that is why. However, I will show you something that I did wrong that doesn't work real well. It's not real stretchy. That is knit, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. And then I also had this color in the scrap balls from the thrift store. And this is, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby, Stripes. And I think it is called Blue Camo. But I really like the way this hat turned out. This one's a little bit bigger, so there's like more room back here for ponytails. Because you know. And I love blue hats. You will see me make a lot of blue hats because both of my children have blue eyes. My eyes are hazel, so sometimes they will look green, sometimes they will look brown. Today they're a little more like reddish. But both my kids have blue eyes and they look so beautiful when they have blue on their head. So you will see me make a lot of blue hats for both of the kids. But I think this will be really cute on little man. Although I kind of like it on myself. I was watching Debi the Canadian Crocheter, and she was talking about she has a bucket of hats by her door, and she has extra hats laying around in case anybody needs a hat that comes to her house. I have a bucket too. I made a crocheted basket is what I made, and I just keep hats in there, and I keep them by the front door. And I don't really have a lot of guests that come to my house because all my family is across the entire country. But I do keep them because my kids are, especially little man, they're always losing their hats. And I just would rather have a bucket of hats by the door so that if there's a blizzard, they can go out and play in the blizzard. And there's hats, there's crocheted mittens, which I would really like to knit some mittens. That sounds fun to me. So I just keep I keep the hats on hand in case anybody needs them. They don't have to go looking. They're not by the front door. They're actually in the closet. But, like, you know, it's always a good idea to have extra hats laying around when you have kids. And also, I have passed out hats and stuff to the kids outside because, you know, I have seen a lot of people in Virginia, because we don't get like real bad blizzards and we don't get storms and all that. I have seen so many kids underdressed for the weather because people here are just not prepared for cold weather because it doesn't happen that frequently. So they're like, when it's cold out, the kids stay in the house because, like, you know, it's like once, maybe twice a year we get snow. And so I have been known to pass out stuff to the neighborhood kids because, you know, I don't like seeing kids with cold ears. I've seen so many kids in the store with like no shoes and socks on, and I'm like, why do your kids not have socks on? Like, even if they're little, like, it's cold out, so, like freezing middle of winter, no socks on these babies. No hats. I can't stand to see that. I can't stand to see that. So I will absolutely pass them out if I see that. I absolutely will. And then this is more scrap yarn. This is the Stitch Please yarn from Premier. I had some left over. I don't even remember what I made with this yarn initially. I know that I made a hat out of this. I think I made hats out of all these. I think I did the arrow hats, which I think I got rid of. I know that I had some. Okay, I made the knit arrow hat. I know out of this one for sure. And possibly this one. This is just leftover Stitch Please yarn that I had. And I was like, these colors belong together. So I did once again, I did that extra long brim. However, this is not, I didn't have enough of the blue to make it an extra long hat like this one. So even though it has the extra long brim, it is not a slouchy hat and you cannot fold up this brim, but I still like the way that it looks. And this is wool. This is 100% wool. It is the Stitch Please yarn from Premier. It is very warm. It is slightly itchy. It dried out my hands a little bit, but I'm having really bad skin conditions right now. Like, my eczema is acting up all over my entire body. And so I'm itchy, scabby, gross. But, so I can't really judge the yarn by that. Like, it's a little itchy, but like, all my clothes are itchy right now because of the eczema. So, it worked up really nice. This is kind of a bean stitch pattern. I made a really long brim. I did the bean stitch, which you can learn from Jada and Stitches. The bean stitch hat shows you how to make the bean stitches. And then I did some rows of half double crochets in there. And then I just closed off the top by doing decreases. But I really like, again, with the blue, I really like the blue. And I think the blue and the yellow look really good together. And I got to use up some more of my scrap yarn. Because even though that was not an official 2022 goal, like, I want to get rid of some of my scrap balls because I have 2 buckets down there and they're overflowing. And then I have a third bucket that is just wool yarn scraps or hand-dyed wool yarn that I need to use up. So I'm trying to, like, downsize some of that because they're on the floor and they're getting in my way. So I'm going through scraps, making hats. So see how I did the bean stitch? Half double bean stitch. This is all half double. They decreased. You can see the decreases. And I really, really love these two colors together. And then I had yellow left over, but I had a string of blue. So I made an ear warmer. And this is the thing we're going to talk about, where the stretchiness, okay? The bottom is super stretchy. The bind off that I did was not a super stretchy bind off, which I know how to do a super stretchy bind off to where it'll stretch that much. I just did a regular bind off and there's no stretch here, so I can't pull it all the way over my head and then pull it back up over my hair. So if I want to wear this ear warmer, I gotta like finagle it over my hair because it will not go down past this part of my head. However, it still fits. It still fits. It covers my ears. And sometimes that's all I want, is something to cover my ears. And I did this entirely in the seed stitch. So it's just knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one. And the next row, the knits are on top of the pearls are on top of the knits. And on and on and on. And then I added in the blue. And what I did here is I still did the seed stitch. However, I held the blue and the yellow both on my finger, and I purled the blues from the front, and I knit the yellows from the back, and it gave this really cool like line, which I'm like happy with. I thought it was cool. And so this again is just the Stitch Please yarn, but had I been smart, I would have did the super stretchy bind off, because that is as far as that stretches, which is not at all. Whereas the bottom stretches. So that was a mistake, but I did that as well. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 hats, an ear warmer, and then I got some more yarn that was from a thrift haul. This is the Bernat Denim style yarn. This is another thing, like I find yarn from thrift stores or reuse shops and I fall in love with them and then they're discontinued and I gotta go on a search and hunt. This yarn is not available. This has long been discontinued. This yarn is nice. And I wish that Bernat still made it. The white part is cotton and it feels like a very soft, well worn in t-shirt. You know those kind of t-shirts where like you wear it and it's it's kind of like this one. This so well worn in soft cotton t-shirt. That's what it felt like on my fingers. This yarn was, let's see, Stonewash is the colorway. 70% soft acrylic, 30% cotton, and what it should say is soft cotton because the cotton is, this yarn was nice. Yes, who's texting me? Who is texting me? That's TikTok. I made, and an email. I made a cowl. And I knew when I bought this yarn I was going to make a cowl because I want a cowl to go with my blue jeans and my white t-shirts. I just thought it would look so nice. And this is not a pattern. This was me playing with the yarn. It's got a little bit of length to it so it hangs like right on my boobs. Like that. You can fold it like that. You can let it hang like this. It's just to add a little crochet to my outfit. It doesn't have a purpose. It's not going to keep my neck warm. It doesn't double wrap over my big giant head, which it would be nice if it did, but I knew I only had so many yards of this. It's a 3.5 ounce ball. And it does not say on here how many yards it is. Anywhere. So, had no idea the yardage I was working with. I just wanted something soft and nice to go with t-shirt and jeans. And that's what I accomplished. And I could tell you how I made this. I don't remember. I don't even think I counted how many I chained. I just chained till it was a nice long length. I did front post, back post for a couple rows with double crochet. I did a couple rows of, I think I did a row of half double crochet and a row of double crochet. And then this is double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, 3 rows of that. And then I went back to double crochet, half double crochet, and then front post, back post. So if you want to recreate that, you absolutely could. And I worked it in the round. You make it as big or as small as you want it. You can make it big enough to wrap around twice if you want. Now I could probably get creative if I was cold. And twist it in the back. And pull it up over my head, if and I so choose. Now, if I was super cold and I wanted to choke myself because I cannot stand anything tight around my neck, that would keep me warm in the winter. I don't like anything, and as a matter of fact, I'm feeling kind of gaggy. I can't wear anything tight around my face like that. My mom used to wrap me up so tight. She used to wrap me up so tight to send me outside. And I would tell her, I'm choking, I'm choking, I'm choking. And she'd be like, you're not choking, it's not that tight. And anywhere near my neck, I feel like I'm choking. And I get gaggy. I cannot stand it. I cannot do it. Well, you could also wear it like this. And tuck it into your coat. I had to switch cameras. Battery died. And it's not that the battery life is short on this camera. I do not recommend this camera, by the way. I paid way too much money for this camera for it to act the way it acts. it overheats the battery when I'm doing videos, and it is specifically supposed to be a video camera. And so because it overheats, the battery exhausts really easily. And so if I record 45 minutes, the battery is done. So I actually have several batteries on order so that I have extra batteries so I don't have to keep switching back to my phone, because the phone quality is not as good. Because that drives me nuts. And then I got to piece the videos together. Anyway, so yeah, it's irritating. But I ordered 3 more batteries and a battery charger so that I will always have batteries on hand, so that when the batteries exhaust, because you can feel it gets overheated, and that is one of the downsides with that camera. So I do not recommend that camera. That is the Sony, what the heck is this called? ZV-1. The quality is amazing for videos, but like it just, the pain in the neck. Anyway, I guess that's it for today. Like I said, I've been working on a lot of littles. Now, here's the big crunch, because I'm running out of time to finish that baby blanket. So I've already put in, since yesterday, I picked up because when it came crunch time for Christmas, I was like, okay, I need to put down the blankets and I need to work on my Christmas stockings, which I successfully completed my Christmas stockings. I'm very happy that I did that. And I was like, okay, the week between Christmas and New Year's, I just got off of making all of these things for other people, the stockings. And while I enjoyed it, I needed time to just decompress from stressing myself out. So I'm like, I am just going to sit and just get rid of scrap balls any way that I can think of. I'm not going to stress myself, pressure myself. I'm not going to make anything for anyone else. I'm just going to sit down, and what the yarn tells me it wants to be, that's what the yarn is going to be. And that is what these hats and stuff are, is me using up scrap yarn so that it's not in the bin anymore. Making hats because I find hats to be fun. They're quick, they're easy. Using up my scraps. And now I'm completely out of the Stitch Please yarn. I have used all of my Stitch Please yarn. It is gone out of my life, and I am perfectly okay with that. It is a good yarn. If you like wool, it is a good quality wool yarn. I'm just not a big fan of wool, so like I'm like, cool, whatever. Love this. And I have some more denim colored yarns on my shelf that I really want to make some more accessories like this to go with my blue jeans, because I love wearing jeans. I especially like wearing jeans and t-shirts, and like a little bit of crochet around your neck is something that's not going to be hot for someone who's hot-blooded like me, and that will jazz up your outfit a little bit. And now is crunch time. Now I got to get back to, that was my break from the things I have to make. So now I need to get back and work on that baby blanket and get it finished and get it mailed off to my sister. And there's like a couple of things you guys have sent that I need to mail off to her as well. And oh, also this is kind of cool. Now this is not for me, and I totally lost my light. I made some ultra fluorescent orange yarn for a friend of mine. She needed it. So I'm going to send that off to her. And I was playing with, we have a little black light, and I had it on my desk, and little man would not let me keep it on my desk. This fluoresces. It is fluorescent. So if you go out in the sun, it is very, very bright. It's hunter's orange. Okay, safety orange. The black light, we have a black light, and it is meant to charge marbles that little man has from a game. So it's a pin, but it's a black light. And we were shining it on the purple, or not on the purple, we were shining the black light on the thing to see what happens, because I said it fluoresces. And so I was showing Juju, and she shined the purple light on here, and it looked like a flashlight was on it, because it just lit up bright. Let me turn my lights up so you can see how bright this is. That is pretty darn accurate. It's pretty darn accurate. And so when the black light is on here, it looks like a very bright white flashlight. And so I was like, look. And then I was going back and forth between my hand, and it looked blue because it's a black light. White, blue, white. And then I put it half on and half on here, and it was blue and white all at the same time. And I was like, that is so cool. That yarn is so cool. So I have some more of this safety orange. I also have fluorescent yellow, And I think I have fluorescent pink. And I'm going to be working on some fluorescent yarns because I need fluorescent like in my life. I just need it. But this is getting ready to go to my friend, so yeah, awesome sauce. I also have another package that's getting sent out to another friend. So good times, good times. These are the things that I have been working on the week between Christmas and New Year's. I'm very excited. And thank you so much for watching. I'm getting a really bad itch in my throat. So I'm going to go grab myself some tea or some sparkling water because I am no longer drinking sugary beverages. The new year has been great though. I've been doing pretty good. I'm sticking to my goals. I'm going to get healthier. All right, guys, I will see you in the next one. I'm checking on my, I'm doing like other things like my computer, like I'm all over the place. But I'm going to let you go so that I can finish my work and get some stuff uploaded. And I also need to create videos and all that stuff so we can keep the channel content rolling. Keep them videos rolling. Rawhide. Bye, guys. I found Little Man's purple pen. I wanted to show you guys this yarn. All right. So I'm trying to, my light is off. And I have a window. I closed this window so it's a little bit darker in here so you guys can see. Let me figure out how to turn this on. Okay, purple light. And you guys can't even see that it's purple. Okay, purple. There we go. Purple. Right? Purple. Right? You guys see purple? Look at it. It is fluorescing. That is, and if you look, it's still purple. Look, watch. Purple. White. Isn't that cool? It's like magic. And then see, half purple, half on my skin, half on the yarn. That is it fluorescing. I did not expect a purple light to make it light up that bright. So now you can see. See, purple, white, purple, white. Isn't that neat? It's magic. It's science. I am so fascinated that it does this. Lucas came in and he was like, all right, Mom, where's my purple light? I was like, I don't know, bro. You took it. And he's all, no. And I looked, it's on the floor. It was on the floor. So I was like, all right, Lucas, you can have this as soon as I show the magic. Fluorescent. Purple, fluorescent. Purple, fluorescent. Yeah. I thought that was cool. Had to show you. Alright, guys. Bye.
Hello, and welcome to an episode of Cinnamon Stitches.
It's spinning.
She can't say this hot.
Alright, hang on. Try it on.
And you want to see what me look like I'm on? I look like an elf.
The Keebler elf. That's cute, though.
Yeah.
Where was that at?
Right there. And try and wear it. So she.
That means Daddy was right. That means I made 10 because I forgot about this hat.
Can you also show YouTube?
Oh, shoot.
There's also this hat.
That's an ear warmer.
An ear warmer.
Yep. That's how that works.
Show YouTube what it's like with you wearing it.
Right.
Yeah, and we also have this hat.
Try it on. Look at it. Come here.
It would be good to wear this.
Let's make it. There we go. Your white balance is off. Well, I don't know why this is spinning so much.
So you know, what it's like.
It's gonna be a bad video. There we go.
But sorry about the camera issues. And if you want,
we made this with Stitch Please yarn.
And if you want some Tuesday tea and you can drink it with cinnamon, just come over to us and just get some Tuesday tea and drink it with cinnamon on a nice warm not tell YouTube. Cut that off.
Okay.
Oh, we also have this.
We're trying the next one on. Give me that.
And
You
wear
gotta
those
keep these
on
organized.
wear those on winter. They keep you warm.
Mm-hmm. And how? All right, hang on. Look, put that on. I'm gonna show you a magic trick. Ready? You want this one or that one?
This one.
All right, give me that one.
We have that. This one.
Did you know this is the same yarn?
What?
Even though it looks totally different. It's the
Tuesday
same.
tea. Listen, I look like an old lady.
You don't. You look like an old man.
I look like an old lady wearing all her hair clips.
This is crochet. This is knit.
It looks like hair clip. So, next hat.
Hand it to me. Here's another hat. This one's knit.
Knit. Which one? This one?
No, this. I made it with this one.
What is it called?
Yarn. I love this yarn.
This is the I love this yarn.
From Hobby Lobby.
This is the Bernard Denim style.
Bernat Denim style.
Bernard Denim style.
Alright, try that one on. Look at you. Are you warm?
Yeah, and can I show you some of our yarn we keep in our secret yarn room? We have Sesame Street one, like we have
Lucas! Kirshner's has. Come here. Mommy has Big Bird, Elmo, Cookie Monster, and the Grouch. Listen.
Get that on YouTube so we show it.
Kirshner's has Count, Super Grover, Bert, and Ernie.
Hold on. Let me show you
I
all.
need them. They're expensive though.
Let me show you all the Sesame Street ones. Where's the other
I
one?
don't know.
Right there. Put a yarn right there.
You need the Abby Kid Abby one?
Oh, don't say that. Cut all of the names off. I forgot to tell you something.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Want to do countdown?
No.
Yeah.
Weird.
10, 9, 8,
7, 6, 5.
4, 3, 2. We start countdown. 10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Put this back.
So the yarn we have.